Greetings. Not really dance music. Hi again for my Fata Morgana attempt after an entire year. The last save file is truly July 2024. So, yeah. It's been a long time coming. Hello. How is everyone doing? So sorry. Do you still remember the plot? I wanted to just pick up where we left off because I figured that I might try and save the video despite there being a year apart from the last. I'm getting by. It's been a year, it has. Time passes in strange ways when you live in Bunworld. But anyway, I went back to try and fast forward through the... Hello. I hope that you are doing well also. We are almost in August. The year has flown by. I did go through just fast forwarding through the visual novel up until about now, or a little bit further on, which is where we left off, so that I could attempt a summary, so that we could recap what had happened as well as everyone's names. But I got to making some bullet points and decided that it was too difficult, so I'll read from the Wikipedia page. Let's just recap what's happened. Thank you, Wiki. Since a year has passed, I think that this is necessary for perhaps me and anyone else who had been keeping up with the reading before. But the plot so far has been an amnesiac spirit awakens in an ethereal mansion, that's us. In order to recover lost memories, the spirit explores the mansion's past with a maid whose appearance remains unchanged over time. And we go through a number of doors to discover this. In 1603, the mansion is inhabited by young aristocrat siblings Mel and Nellie Rhodes. Mel becomes smitten with a mysterious white-haired girl, and the two begin a relationship. Nellie is driven mad with jealousy and discovers that the white-haired girl is her and Mel's half-sister. Nellie reveals this to Mel, as well as her own romantic feelings for him, leaving him distraught. So we have that very shocking scene in which Nellie appears wearing the hair of the white-haired girl, and Mel runs out and cries in the rain. Hello, thank you for coming back, as always. Welcome, welcome. I'm just recapping, trying to recap things that have happened so far. I apologize if this is too repetitive. So if you want to just ignore this plot recap, no worries, you're welcome to. In 1707, the mansion is abandoned and destitute. The maid, the mansion's only inhabitant, discovers Yukimasa, an amnesiac man, in the cellar. However, he visualizes himself as a savage beast named Bestia. So you might remember that during Yukimasa's arc, story. He first appears as this hazy, black, featureless creature with basically just eyes and teeth, and he conducts himself in a very bestial way. The maid tries to civilize him, but he murders villagers that come to the mansion in retaliation for abuse he received from them. Originally he was a merchant who... Originally he was a merchant who was on a ship that crashed, and due to the accident he lost all of his memories. And when he was washed up on the beach, people were very abusive and unkind. So he no longer thinks of himself as being human, and this appears in the funky way his text appears. There's a lot of he ha ha ho ho laughing and maniacal murderous actions, etc., etc. Anyway, later, a reincarnation of the white-haired girl, who retains hazy memories of her past life, arrives. Yukimasa attempts to kill her, but her lack of fear stupefies him, and the two become friends. Shaky friends, because he is a murderer and also extremely mentally unstable, but, friends. Meanwhile, Pauline, who is Yukimasa's lover, searches for him. She finds the mansion, but Yukimasa, who still sees himself as bestia, who still thinks of himself as a beast, he sees Pauline as another bestia. If anything, I think it's because she also has some Asian blood in her. And in his confusion, he kills her in a very vicious way. Later, villagers attack the mansion, and the white-haired girl dies. Or rather, she's killed in also a very brutal way. And then with her gone, Yukimasa slaughters all of the villagers. And it's kind of revealed that rather than appealing to his humanity, Pauline, also the white-haired girl, what they represent in his life are like the restraints that hold him back from his murderous instincts, you could say. So that's Yukimasa's part, his story. Then, in 1869, the mansion is owned by young, greedy businessman Jacopo. He lives with his wife, who is another reincarnation of the white-haired girl, and many servants, including the maid and his childhood friend Maria. Maria, secretly despising Jacopo, sabotages his relationship with the white-haired girl, causing her to eventually flee. And I remember reading this, and I always get very frustrated by miscommunication plots. Like, I guess as a personal choice, I feel like if the entire plot is circulating around a single miscommunication, then it's not that great to me, just personally, not my choice, not my preference. But anyway, Maria plays the two of them like a fiddle, and after realizing the truth, Jacopo confronts Maria, who laughs and comes out with her villainy, who, she's great. But they shoot, they exchange gunfire, and she dies. And Jacopo then spends the rest of his life unsuccessfully searching for the white-haired girl. Then, as the destitute soul, which is us, and the maid have explored the mansion up to this point, the maid tries to give him a story about the old days, and she says in the year 1099, an incarnation of the white-haired girl flees to the mansion from persecuting villagers, and there she meets Michelle, who is a hermit living in the mansion. And the two fall in love, and the white-haired girl reveals her name, which is Giselle. And then villagers attack the mansion, and Michelle sacrifices himself in order to kill him. And it's kind of fanciful. He has this curse in which he kills whatever he touches, something like that. And as she's grieving over Michelle's loss, we hear the disembodied voice of Morgana, who is known to be the witch who lives in the mansion. She offers to reincarnate Giselle so that she can reunite with Michelle's reincarnation someday. But as we go through the story, we, the destitute spirit, I guess, realize that this is kind of too good of a story, and that, oh, this is in fact a story. This isn't the true story of how the maid came to be here, of who the white-haired girl is. And so the destitute spirit, we'll just call ourselves Michelle, because that's our name. But so this is our true identity, and we realize that the story wasn't real, and that the maid herself is actually Giselle. And in reality, Giselle was just another young woman who was repeatedly sexually abused by her employer, Antonin. And this is Antonin Bollinger, who is Michelle's father. She was to be executed when she was found out, but he banished her to the mansion instead, which is where Michelle lives. And there, the two had a very, very rocky start, with a lot of other misunderstandings and miscommunication. She even ran away at some point to a village where things were okay at first, but then she was treated terribly and accused of a crime she didn't commit. Anyway, after Michelle basically sends a letter home, knights attack the mansion, and he makes a wish of sorts and locks Giselle away in the tower, and he is killed and dragged away. And as per story, the disembodied voice of the witch Morgana offers to reincarnate Michelle, which Giselle accepts. However, what Morgana does here is she curses Giselle. She curses her so that she doesn't age, she doesn't die. And Giselle waits just like this, looking like this, being a maid, staying through all of these different cycles of mansion owners, from Mel's family, the Rhodes, to the white-haired girl. And Giselle's memories are already quite hazy at this point, hundreds of years later, and so she thinks that the white-haired girl is Michelle, when her actual name is Michelle, double L-E. But, you know, Michelle, the white-haired girl, who we know is the white-haired girl, she doesn't know Giselle. She doesn't remember her at all. And as time goes by, Giselle just becomes very numb emotionally, watching all of the mansion's tragedies unfold. And through the long passing of centuries, Morgana manages to just convince her and brainwash her into thinking that she's just always been the maid, that actually her past memories aren't real. And that's where we are now, I believe. So I got up into the point where I think Giselle, the maid, is talking about her experiences as the maid. You'll have to forgive me as we, The Maid's Tale. Yes. Sorry for this. Giselle is mourning Michelle's loss, but he is not there. Oh, who is this? It is our lovely witch Morgana. You've heard of me before. This is brilliant. The cursed witch Morgana, yes. So here Morgana talks to her. I thought it would be a bit too confusing if we just jumped right into where the save file left off, but perhaps this wasn't really helpful. Do you guys remember what happened now? Scary. Morgana offers to reincarnate. That was the moment I became the maid. At that point, I was still the same Giselle you knew and loved. So... the mansion is a dark place. While no one is living here, it feels like a terrible prison. Morgana is very much in charge here. Morgana is waiting for the people who come here to live. It's, you know, she mostly just tortures Giselle here. It's not just torture, of course, but she's just she's a fly caught in a trap, so she toys with her. See how frightful you've become. And Giselle as the maid is pale and cold and doesn't resemble the person she was before. And years and years and years are going by. Do you think you're Giselle? The mansion comes back to life when the Rhodes family is going to move in. Who is this? Hayden? Hayden Rhodes? Off to a great start, I see. Hayden Rhodes. So the Rhodes family is going to move in here. And, well, Giselle serves him, and, he does his best to teach her the proper ways of being a servant. Yes, like this. You must always act with elegance and grace. You must always maintain your composure, even if the house is falling down around you. It's helpful. But he gives her a good training. So I think after this point, Giselle is much more maid-like. With her etiquette improved and the house looking more lively, Giselle starts to feel a little hope about you know, the life that she's living. And well, Hayden gets poisoned, and by his own family, and he does his best to impart a hopeful word onto Giselle, but he is, of course, not happy about this. Deep in despair. So this is the advice he gives her. You should protect yourself. You should hide yourself, your true self, in a shell, in a cocoon. Oh, Giselle tries to off herself and it doesn't work. And then she realizes, oh, I'm in for it now. And Morgana just laughs. So here we meet Mel and Nellie Rhodes. And she meets the white-haired girl. The character we know as the white-haired girl. And she doesn't know her. She doesn't know her at all. Doesn't remember her. It's Michelle, but I don't know you. I thought you would be my Michelle, but you're not. Maybe you just don't remember me. Oh look, Yukimasa's hee ha ha hoo hoos. Sorry, I shouldn't make fun of him, but the text is really... I have a hard time reading for him, needless to say. Of course, Yukimasa tries to do something, but after realizing that the maid is kind of beyond humanity, he throws in the towel. Here we have the white-haired girl again, who doesn't know Giselle. We're almost there. Wait, no. No. This is where we left off. Hold on. My bad. It is! This is where we left off. I think I didn't want to read this part because you're reading for Yukimasa's so tiresome. 야배. Sorry. Sorry. My bad. Yeah. So we are now caught up, more or less, with Fata Morgana. Does everyone understand? Oh my goodness. Sorry about that. I was just about to blast through the actual save file. Should probably read things properly, huh? But that's just... Okay. I was at that point completely out of my mind, broken. My smiles, frowns, and gasps had all been replaced with imitations. Shortly afterward, the flaxen-haired boy moved out of the house and went on to become a priest. The girl fell ill a few years later, her disease eventually taking her life. But the boy never once returned home. The Rhodes family crumbled. I couldn't bring myself to grieve for them, or to reflect on Hayden's sorrowful end. I simply waited for time to begin moving once more. Little remains to be said about my broken self, but, as I stated before we began, this is the maid's tale, so I would like to take this opportunity to elaborate on events I was unable to show you before. That is, if you can bear listening to such a dismal, miserable story. I already told you of my meeting with the beast, so I will begin the second tale from here. After Bestia slaughtered the merchant who showed up at the mansion, his mad laughter echoing through the halls. Oh. Hey. Did you hear that? Did you hear his screams? He said I was a monster. A mutilated body lay sprawled across the living room floor, As you can imagine, that was my first time ever seeing such a bloody, mangled corpse. I could not look directly at it, so I averted my eyes.
Hey, you saw it. I just proved that beasts are stronger than humans.
Indeed you did.
Ah, I know. I've got a great idea. You asked if I wanted to become the master. And I said I did. Which means you work for me. Isn't that right? So you'll do whatever I tell you to do, won't you?
What would you have me do?
Chop up his arms and legs and make a stew of them. And don't you hesitate, or you'll end up like him.
Yes, Master. He's trying to assert his total dominance over me. It's not proper behavior for the Master. Though, I am the one who offered him the role.
Do it.
He is an utterly mad beast. But am I really all that different? Blood all over my hands. Sounds like someone's laughing. Is it him? Or is it her? No matter what happens, it won't affect me. The cocoon is not the real me. I was looking down at what could only be described as a pile of human debris. I had done this, but that fact did not register with me. I felt nothing at all. Not regret, not anger, not sorrow or despair.
Put it on the fire. He said he traded in spices. That should give him a very unique flavor.
How am I supposed to work with this? I was quite simply puzzled. No one had ever made such a request of me in my hundreds of years at the mansion. That's all I was. Puzzled. But he interpreted it as hesitation or fear, so he grabbed me by the shoulder, knocked me to the floor, and skewered me with that curious blade of his. For the first few moments he wore that deranged grin of his, but as the seconds passed, it slowly transformed into shock. Not a drop of blood spilled from my breast, and the instant he realized it, I saw revulsion in his eyes. Him, of all people. A man who cackled as he slaughtered others, was disgusted by a mere maid. It was absurd. So much so, I almost wanted to cry.
You.
Is that all, Master? Are you not going to dismember me? You could try stabbing my face, or my neck, or my stomach, or any other part of me. Maybe then I might die. Oh no. Don't look at me like I'm some exotic creature.
Stop that. Quit laughing.
Why should I? My only distinctive feature is my smile. I have nothing else. My hands are covered in blood, but I can still smile. It's ridiculous.
You're the witch, aren't you? Ah, I see. Only monsters ever had a place here. Every so often, I hear a woman's voice in my head. That's you, isn't it? You're the witch.
Monster, witch, maid. What am I? Who is Giselle? Michelle said she was spirited, true to herself, that she often laughed, cried, and shouted. But I don't know anyone like that. I'm just a maid, nothing more than a servant. The woman's voice he had said he heard was probably the real witch's, but I had no interest in that. I almost would have preferred not having to think about anything at all. Nothing would cause me to waver if my head was empty. A world without joy, sorrow, sounds quite wonderful. But nothing ever went the way I planned. For the white-haired girl, whom I thought I would never see again, appeared before me once more. I was quite nearly in a panic. Beneath my perfectly practiced smile was a veritable storm of emotions. Faint hope flared up within my shell. Perhaps this time, Michelle would remember me. But that hope was unsurprisingly in vain. Is someone there? Yes, I came by to ask if there was anything you needed. I cannot offer you anything extravagant, not like before, but I am here to provide you with anything in my capacity. I appreciate the offer, but I need nothing. Being allowed to stay the night is more than enough. Do you work here in the mansion? Yes, indeed I do. I have been here for a very, very long time. A very long time. You might think this is an odd question, but have we met before? Something about you seems familiar. And I get the feeling I have been in this mansion before. Yes, we have met. It was quite some time ago, though. When was it? It was an unimaginably long time ago. Do you remember a boy and girl with flaxen hair? Flaxen hair. I apologize. My memory fails me. Do you not remember me either? I was afraid of this. She doesn't remember anything this time either. But I will not be so pushy this time. I could not bear to be so blatantly rejected again. I see. You should probably not push yourself to remember then. There were joyous times, and there were less than joyous times. But would you be so kind as to answer one question? What might your name be? My name is Michelle. White hair, red eyes, and the name Michelle. Why must you continue to bring me pain? Why can you not set me free as you were supposed to? I see. So you are Michelle again. Again? some rest. I will make tea for you in the morning. Also, go on. Close your eyes. The white-haired girl lay so quietly in her bed, I could not tell whether she was asleep or awake. Even the sound of her breathing was too faint to hear. Standing over her, looking down at her, the locked away despair and wails of lamentation I thought myself no longer capable of came bubbling back to the surface. But can you honestly blame me? I had been waiting for Michelle for so long. She was the only thing holding me up. She was the only thing keeping my broken soul from falling apart completely. Yet, she claimed not to remember me. Did you pity her, having to go through tragedy after tragedy? But every time she showed up, she said she did not know me, bringing me more and more grief. I had been waiting for hundreds of years, waiting for her for so long, my mind slipping away with each passing day, waiting and waiting and waiting. My apologies. I have to be careful, or I'll slip back to what I was then. If you weren't here holding my hand now, Tell me. You are Michelle, aren't you? That's a relief to hear. Yes. Thank you. I'm all right. Do you think I'm as muddled as I feel? Let us return to the tale then. You don't know what it feels like. You don't know how much it hurts for someone you've waited so long for to say they don't know you. You have no idea how much it crushes me. Rather than feel like this anymore, maybe I should just end it all with my own hands. I reached my hands out toward her slender neck. I was not an especially strong woman, but I thought even I would be able to suffocate her with relative ease. She was blind at that, so she wouldn't be able to run. However, that was one thing I could not bring myself to do. I can't do it. I ran and I ran and I ran, though I knew I had nowhere to run, plunging myself into the mansion's darkness. I did not want to be there any longer. I did not want to have anything to do with her. But being an inhuman inhabitant of the house, I could not close my eyes or plug my ears to what happened within its walls, as much as I may have wanted to. It didn't matter where I was. I had no say in the matter. I was forced to observe the events until their tragic conclusion. Twisted, bloody madness. Their wretched wails creating a whirlwind of misery. When it was all over, Morgana cackled like a little girl. Go on. You have a laugh too, my dear. There's nothing in the world better than this. He was a beast through and through. And what a fool he was to think he could become human. Oh, I love it. He destroyed everything he had with his own hands, and then couldn't even manage to mourn for it. Quite the unfortunate fate, wouldn't you say? Laugh with me. Laugh with me, my darling, devoted Giselle. Michelle is dead too, though. You're worried about that tiny little detail? She'll show up again, of course. So you don't need to worry about a thing. You don't need to feel bad about any of this carnage. Rest easy, my darling, devoted Giselle. If you say so, then I shall not be concerned. Yes, that's good. Laugh, laugh, my dear. And time passes again. I apologize for making you listen to my dreadful stories for so long. You must be quite wary of them by now. But worry not, for this is the final one. And despite being the end, it is neither dramatic nor exciting. It was a single phrase, the most insignificant of things, that caused me to completely lose myself and forget I had, long ago, been the woman called Giselle. There was no malice in it. It was but a simple greeting. Do you remember how the first time she arrived, Michelle said I had a peculiar presence about me? She felt something there between us. And the second time, she said something about me seemed familiar. She did not remember why, but her soul recognized the bonds we shared. So I assumed that the next time she showed up, she would feel something even stronger. Or perhaps even have her memories. Despite having been let down again and again, I still held on to the faintest glimmer of hope. But when she appeared, she was someone else's wife.
Hey, head maid. Get out here.
I am right here, sir. Is something the matter?
I figured you should get to know her as soon as possible, since you'll be spending a lot of time looking after her. Hey, get out here. Christ, there's not a goddamn confident bone in your body, is there?
I'm sorry. I'll be right out. The first thing she said when she saw me was, "It's a pleasure to meet you." It's a pleasure to meet you. What had I spent all that time waiting for? It was all for naught. It was all meaningless. In this era, she felt nothing at all for me. In retrospect, it makes enough sense. But for me at the time, that was the end. Morgana! Morgana! Cast me into darkness! Make me a formless being like you! I don't want to be here another second! I don't want to look at her ever again! Morgana! Morgana! Please listen to me! I'm begging you! Now, what's the matter, my dear? It's not like you to throw a tantrum. I can't take it anymore. I can't do this. Michelle, again? Oh, you poor thing. Betrayed 3 times now. Morgana, you pitiful girl. Don't groan like you're having a bad dream, my dear. I am here for you. Please, Morgana, erase me from existence. If you go away, then I will be all alone. And that would be absolutely dreadful. But I... Tell me, what torments you so, my dear? What? Michelle, whom I've been waiting on for so long, doesn't... Oh, you poor thing. You've spent so long riding the currents of time that you've lost sight of yourself. What? You've convinced yourself that someone else's story is your own. Someone else's? Yes, indeed. It was such a beautifully tragic tale that you fell in love with it. It resonated so deeply with you that you felt their pain as if it were your own. What are you talking about? I wanted to tell you, my dear, but you were so convinced it actually happened to you that I couldn't bring myself to take it away. Then, what about Michelle? She's not the one you're waiting for. You are not hers, either. Then, what about Giselle? That is not your name. Then, who am I? Who are you? That's a very silly question. You are this mansion's cursed witch. I'm the witch. That you are. You are both the maid and the witch. But how? Do you truly believe that someone who has eternal life, who doesn't bleed when they're cut, and who can smile no matter what happens to her, isn't a witch? How much of this Giselle's memories do you actually possess, my dear? How clearly can you remember her life? You can't, can you? You don't know what kind of story Giselle and Michelle wove. And you wouldn't, because you were merely an onlooker, much like you are now for this present tale. And, by contrast, how much of the witch's story do you know? You should know it very well. Yes, but that's because you... No, my telling it to you is not the reason. The details are rooted deep within your memory. Then That's right. You are the cursed witch, Morgana. But I am you. You split into two because you refused to accept who you were. Think about it. Have I ever shown myself to you? Have I ever shown myself to anybody? That's why I am the witch that you are. I see. It all makes sense now. Everything has fallen into place. There's one thing I still don't understand, the story I was so enamored with. Giselle and Michelle's story. kind of story was it? I would be glad to tell you. You look like you're ready to know the truth. I believed every word she said. All my worries melted away like they were nothing. The sight of the white-haired girl no longer kicked up waves in my heart. In fact, I found myself wishing for her to find happiness. I was an observer, watching and hoping for the best. The tragedy that befell her did sadden me, but I felt bad for her like I would a character in a story. I brought you your medicine, Master.
Thank you. Just set it down over there. Yes? What are you staring at?
My apologies. I was simply musing about how much time has passed. I can hardly believe it has been 40 years since you were a bright young businessman.
And you haven't aged a day.
Why, thank you. I am a witch, after all.
Well, I don't much care what you are. You could be the Grim Reaper for all I care. You still work harder than anyone else.
May I ask you a question, Master?
What is it?
Why have you not returned to your homeland? I thought it was a place quite dear to you.
Oh, I can't wait for her back there.
Do you still believe she will return? To a degree, I understand how difficult it can be to wait. Though for me, waiting now brings more joy than pain. With your lifespan, Master, it will be the pain that wins out. Perhaps you should consider letting go.
Tell me, was her name really Michelle?
Why, yes, it most certainly was. But why would you ask such a thing? Have you forgotten your own wife's name? You have waited so long that it would seem, like me, some part of you has begun to break down. You poor, poor man.
You know, you look a whole lot more pitiful than me.
Oh my. Oh, there you are. What has you in such a flurry, my dear? You are a noble servant. You must maintain your composure at all times. But the master... What about him? He was found deceased in his chambers. The doctor just came out. He said it was his ailment. And it would seem the master knew his time was short, for he left a will, asking not to be given a funeral.
I see.
I feel kind of bad for him, though. Not only did he not have anyone at his side for his final moments, he didn't want to be sent off at all. Isn't that sad?
It is for the best. There is not a single soul in this world left who could send him off.
With your era drawn to an end, this mansion will soon return to existing nowhere in this world. I wonder what the next one will look like. I wonder if misfortune will befall her once more. That would be quite regrettable. Perhaps, if I could convince her of her tragic fate, she would be willing to disappear from this realm with me. And if she wishes to fight that fate, perhaps she will become my next master. Calling her master seems appropriate. Seems inappropriate, but I cannot think of a word that fits better. I eagerly await the next era. Please do not keep me waiting for long, master. Time pressed onward, and then at long last, you arrived. Oh, splendid. You have finally awoken. I have simply been waiting so long for this moment, tending to the mansion all by my lonesome, ensuring it was ready for your return, master, whenever that time may be. When I caught sight of you through the window, my heart fluttered. The time had finally arrived. Oh my, you do not know who I am? Do you not know who you are either? That is quite the predicament. Then, how about this? I am a servant of this mansion, and as such, I am familiar with the many incidents that have taken place here. I shall show you the history of this house, master. Let us be off then. And fear not, I merely entreat you not to let go of my hand. Should you hold it tightly, you need not worry about being washed away by the waves of history. No matter what happens, you mustn't let go of my hand. No matter what happens, no matter what you see, never again let go of this hand. That is everything. I prepared a number of things to say when she was finished with her tale, but I can't manage to put any of them into words. I almost hate myself for thinking it would be so easy, for letting myself hope I could simply pull her back to her old self, accept whatever had happened to her, take her hand in mine, and that would solve everything. The truth is so much worse than I imagined. So much more harrowing. She was subjected not only to her own terrible fate, but every single one of this house's tragedies. The tales she told me, the things she witnessed with her own eyes. How can I possibly blame her for forgetting me, for forgetting herself, after so many hundreds of years? No, I should be. Why didn't you come for me? Why couldn't I have returned before she was so far gone? Why did you show up now?
Giselle.
Because you opened the door to my memories. I now remember everything. But I didn't want to remember. I didn't want to be reminded of all those empty years, of the people who passed on, leaving me behind. Of you, who refused to show up, no matter how I begged. I'm not the Giselle you knew anymore. I may have my memories, but I cannot go back to that time. My hands are stained with blood, my soul worn thin. The girl who would laugh at the simplest things, who would tell silly jokes, and wasn't afraid to speak her mind, doesn't exist anymore. That Giselle is dead. How can you say I'm the same girl? How can you say I feel the same way I did? How can you be sure that even now, I still love you? Can you deny the possibility that I no longer yearn for you, but the white-haired girl? Can you deny the possibility that my love for you has transformed into hate? She brings her hands up toward my throat, and I make no attempt to move out of her way. When her fingers brush against my skin, they feel as frigid as death itself, far colder than anything I have felt from her thus far. If she were to wrap her hands around my neck, she wouldn't even have to squeeze to stop me from breathing. This is the fork in our road. One word will decide everything. We don't have much time. I have to say something I have to say something before the cold robs me of my voice.
Of course, I'll deny it.
While I was floating in the darkness, I heard a voice. Regrettably, it took me far too long to realize that it was your voice, crying for help, calling for me. You may have lost hold on your old self, but somewhere deep down, you kept calling for me, which is how I found my way here. I refuse to believe that isn't real. I refuse to stomp on a love that survived for hundreds of years. By all means, hate me. If that's how you feel, that's how you feel. I don't care if you spit bile at me for the rest of eternity. I will not let go of this hand. Because you asked me not to. I could kill you right now.
If that's what you want, then go right ahead. But I'll fight you with all I've got. Giselle, I've missed you too much to lose you again. I don't care if it makes you despise me. I don't care if you think I'm being inconsiderate. I want to save you.
But I am not the Giselle you once knew. I am an abomination. My mind and body are twisted beyond recognition. I am a disgusting monster. The woman you fell in love with does not exist anymore. So, just forget about me. You are the one who should be saved, set free from me.
You look the same to me. Your manner of speaking, your temperament, your physical appearance may all have changed. But you are still the same Giselle I love.
You should never have done anything for a foolish girl like me. You gave your life to save mine, and I hated you for that. I never once considered how you felt with those knights pointing their blades at you, or what drove you to allow me to live. I should have, but I didn't. I was the one who trusted the witch. And yet I complained when you never showed up. I unfairly resented you for it. I'm a horribly self-centered person. You would be so much better off with someone pure and unburdened, with all this nasty suspicion and doubt and animosity. You would be so much happier with someone like her.
Giselle.
You've been paying attention, haven't you? You were there for all the tales I told you. For everything that has happened up to this moment. So you should know just how loathsome a woman I am. Too weak to even keep herself together.
No. Giselle.
I'm nothing compared to her.
Giselle! See. You haven't changed one bit. You still get louder and louder the more you lose your temper. Why do you feel the need to compare yourself to her?
Because she is a better match for you.
Giselle, I want you to listen very carefully to what I'm about to say. I'm so sorry for keeping you waiting. And I want you to believe me when I say that I dearly missed you from the bottom of my heart. I wanted you back, and that has not changed. Believe me. I love you.
I missed you so much too. She leaps into my arms and she's as cold as ever. Her warmth-deprived body feels like the embodiment of all my mistakes. I wrap my arms around her, and I'm immediately filled with unparalleled relief, even as she sobs into my chest, her body cold as ice. And then the darkness parts. We are once more at the top of the observation tower. It's still shrouded in a miasma of shadows, but we're back in the mansion now. We have emerged from the darkness in her heart. Michelle.
Yes. I'm sorry. For what?
I never should have erased you from my memories. Yours are the memories I needed to hold on to tightest. I was so glad to hear you say you still loved me, even after learning the truth about me. Thank you so much.
I'm incredibly relieved. As I watched, it felt like you were slipping farther and farther away from me, Giselle. It terrified me. Maybe it makes me a coward, pitiful, but I was truly afraid of you coming to hate me.
I would never hate you, Michelle. Ever.
Thank you. We must leave this place.
What?
It would not be wise for us to remain here long. The air is still thick with darkness.
But the front door won't open. And even if we could get out from somewhere, what would happen to us? We've finally found each other again after so long. I want to share a quiet, modest life with you, like before. What if that all disappears when we step outside? After all, we are... She doesn't finish, but I feel like I know what she was going to say. We're different now. She's stepped far outside the bounds of mortality. And the same could be said of me. I am. The man known as Michelle is long since dead. The mansion itself does not follow the rules of nature either, as beings no longer in possession of their proper forms. Stepping outside these walls could very well mean the end of us.
I can't say what might lay in store, but we must return.
Even though, by staying here, we could be together for all time?
I don't imagine that would be a very happy life. There is no sun here, no chirping birds, no trees, or breeze to rustle the leaves. If we stay here, the nothingness will eat away at us. We have finally reattained our old selves. We need to take action now while we still can.
What if I say, I want to stay here?
Then I'll drag you out.
It's almost like we've switched places. Back then, it was you who wanted to stay. It's also kind of funny hearing you speak favorably of the outside, and especially the sun. The words, "That's all thanks to you," are on my lips, but before I can say them, I find myself hypnotized by her smile. That smile has picked me up so many times. She claims it's her only redeeming feature, but if she didn't have it, my life would have gone in a very different direction.
I'm grateful to have gotten that back, too.
Say, we're in the middle of a very touching reunion, wouldn't you say?
I suppose so, yes?
And wouldn't you say there's a certain way these things usually go? Are you really going to make me say it? I was hoping you might, perhaps, kiss me.
What?
What? Oh, seriously, what? Where did all that boldness from a second ago go? What happened to all that momentum you were building?
Yeah, about that. I think that might be more appropriate. Later.
Later? How much later? After we find an exit?
Or, in a hurry.
You're just making excuses because you don't want to.
I swear that's not it. Giselle, let's save that for when things aren't as crazy. I can't relax and enjoy it right now.
What are you, 12?
Hush.
All right. Fine. But you'd better keep your word. Got it?
Promise.
Let's go then. Let's find our way out of the mansion. There, our frozen time should begin moving again. That's hopefully where our future waits.
It will be. No, we'll make it so.
Yes, we will. If we leave the mansion, it should release our souls as well, and in doing so, should finally provide her deliverance. So we mustn't hesitate. To end all of this, for both of us, we must start again. This is where we... Darkness. It's a blackness purer than anything I've experienced in this house. Not a trace of light anywhere to be found. Why did I ever think the house would let us go so easily? Why did I ever think our time in the darkness was over? Michelle! The darkness surges through the open door like a wave, flooding the observation tower, like ivy growing wildly to cover every last inch of every surface. Consuming, defiling, eroding. Our fingers slip apart, and concentrated rancor rains down upon us. How hideous a world this is. Oh, no. Michelle! Please, please! Don't let go of my hand. I've let go. I said I would never let go. I said I would never let her go again. I said I would get her out of this place. I swore I would. But as hard as I try to stretch, I can't reach her hand. Help, Michelle! I can't move. I can't move my body. I went out of my way to give you a beautiful tragedy. So why must you so stubbornly insist on this ugliness? The more you struggle, my dears, the thicker and more palpable your filthiness becomes. Ah, it's sickening. Wouldn't you agree? She's always spat her bile with a song-like cadence, singing like a little girl, chirping like a morning bird. She celebrates misery. She watches for the worst possible moment to let out a cackle. Morgana! I swear, you two are hopeless. I pity you. I give you my deepest condolences. Let go! Let me go! Don't take me away from him! Giselle. The darkness seeping into her grew thicker by the moment, and its black tendrils weren't just wrapped around her, but me as well. Stop this, Morgana! Let her go? Nothing more original? I need a devoted puppet to protect this mansion for me, so I can't give her up, not even at your request. Besides, why should I give back something you threw away? Something you abandoned again and again. What are you talking about? You still haven't figured it out, my dear? Or are you just feigning ignorance for your own convenience? You always did like to withhold anything that might prove disadvantageous. advantageous. Michelle!
Giselle, give me your hand. Reach harder. Reach as hard as you can. Grab my hand.
I can't do it. It's like I'm tied up. I can't move at all.
She's right there. She waited so many hundreds of years for me, finally managing to reclaim herself. And she's right there. So why can't my hand go any further? Why can't I reach her wrist, her hand, or even a strand of her flowing hair? Why can't I get her back again?
Michelle!
Her voice is growing fainter, more distant. The darkness shrouds her, taking her away from me. Her arms, her fingers, the hands she led me with, her smiling face, her once glowing grin, and her now more modest smile. The witch's darkness is stealing every last bit of her. Stop, please, don't do this. Take me instead of her. Why? Why does it have to be her? Why her? Morgana! Why? Because your work is done, my dear. By all accounts, as the one who resurrected me, you should have become my guide as well. But you let a silly woman emotionally manipulate you, and you gave up cursing others. And then you threw away your life, deluded into thinking you were protecting her. Morgana! You already gave up the position once. Don't think you can just walk up and ask for it back. Set Giselle free. I'll do anything you ask. If you need a puppet, I'll be your puppet. If you want more from me, it's yours for the taking. But I can't leave her to remain in this cursed house any longer.
You certainly have let your obsession for this girl take its toll on you. I much prefer the old, pessimistic, cynical Michelle.
It wasn't until I met Giselle that I truly became human. She made me into what I'm supposed to be. I can't lose her again.
Is that so? Well, you'll come to the harsh realization soon enough that everything you saw and heard is just a facade.
It was not.
All right, then. If you want her back so badly, you can have her. But in exchange, I want you to entertain me. Will you endure maddening agony for me? Will you know pain enough to make you howl? Will you face despair again and again and again? If you need her that badly, you can bear anything, can't you?
If that is what you want from me, if that will allow her to see the sun once more.
Brilliant.
Wait, Morgana! Morgana!
As you wish, foolish boy. I was looking for a way to keep busy anyway. So, I'll use you to kill some time. Find your way to me, my dear. Find your way to me without going mad or succumbing to despair. Do hurry, or she might lose her mind again. Those memories you forced her to relive. Those hundreds of years she spent locked away in her shell. All that fear that ate away at her. It's a bit much to have to reflect on with a clear mind. Wouldn't you say?
That's why I need to be there for her. Why I have to get her out of here. That's my obligation to her.
You're the one who let go of her hand, though. You can put a broken cup back together, but the slightest tap in the wrong place will shatter it again.
Morgana.
The witch's cackling fades into the distance. My outstretched hand is completely enveloped in the shadows. I can't even make out the faintest outline of it. And I can't tell if I'm sinking, floating, being pushed along some invisible stream, falling with incredible speed. My eyes are open, but they can detect nothing. The complete lack of sound is almost painful. Nothing. Anything. Anywhere. Void. My consciousness begins to drift. Vague remnants of the feeling of her hand in mine are my only link to reality. My one and only landmark. Giselle. I must get her back. She waited, enduring for hundreds, no, almost 1,000 years. And now, it's my turn to act. I have to hold that resolve, hold it firm, so that I never forget her again, so that I never lose myself again. Even if I'm consumed by the darkness, you must never back down. You must never look away. You must never lose her. Okay, just a little bit more so that you know what's happening. Hey, Master. Hello? Is anyone in there? Master? Oh, good. Welcome back. What's gotten into you? I thought you had fallen asleep with your eyes open. I'm not accustomed to people needing my attention. Or I suppose, talking face to face at all. This is my mansion. Giselle's right in front of me, smiling like she always did. Smiling for me. We're not hurt. Giselle. You have been alone for 10 years, but now I'm living here with you. So, what do you say we do a little practice conversation?
Practice conversation? What exactly do you think I am?
Yeah. No offense intended. I just thought it'd be nice if you had more back and forth skills.
So in short, you're saying I'm such a poor conversationalist, I need training?
Hey, don't get so snippy. That's not what I meant. I'm saying we don't talk enough, and I want to talk to you more. It's fun.
This is an old memory.
from when Giselle first returned to the mansion. And we were just starting our new life together. When we were still feeling around in the dark.
What exactly would you like to talk about then?
Each other, of course.
I have nothing to say.
No. Let's not be rash. It can be anything. Things you like, things you don't like. Start with something small, insignificant.
Does that serve any purpose?
It does, yes. The more you know about someone, the closer you feel to them, and the better friends you can become.
Is that how it works?
Now that's out of the way, ask me something. Ask me anything and I'll gladly answer.
Her eyes are lit up like a child's. Is she really so eager to converse with me? I don't believe it.
What's the matter? I'm ready for anything.
Very well. I'll ask whatever comes to mind.
Go for it.
You haven't told me your age.
My age? Take a guess.
I thought she said she would tell me anything.
I look like I'm still in my teens?
You talk like a young lady.
Really? Because I've been trying to act older.
So, how old are you?
20. I was born as summer was starting, so I'll be 21 soon. I'd like you to sing a song with me on my birthday.
Not a chance.
Oh, come on. Have a heart, please? You just wait. I'll make you sing. Now it's your turn. How old are you, Master?
As I recall, I should be 27 this year.
Oh, wow! You're much older than I expected.
What did you expect?
You are very mellow, like I would expect of an older man. But every once in a while you give the impression of a teenage boy. For what it's worth, I mean that in a good way.
For what it's worth. Tell me about your family.
You want to know about my family? We were pretty normal, I think. Not much interesting about us. We had been able to get citizenship in the capital, but we weren't super rich or anything. In fact, it was because we were having money troubles that I ended up here. It's not easy for 3 women to make it on their own.
You didn't have a father or any brothers?
No. We lost my father to a plague when I was young, and since then it's been me, my mother, and my older sister. But they're both bright, oh my god, sorry. But they're both bright, lively people. Our family motto is, a smile can make anything better.
Maybe that explains why she can still smile now, even after nearly succumbing to despair.
I've always kind of wanted some brothers, though.
Men are more suited to physical labor, yes.
Not quite what I was going for. I feel like, I don't know, the kinds of things you would ask a brother and a sister to help, they're different. I'm not sure how to explain it, but a guy with broad shoulders and muscular arms is someone you can look up to, for instance. Someone who looks like they'd always keep you safe.
She's never been betrayed by family, it would seem. She can't even imagine family hurting her. She has no idea that those closest to you, that those who are supposed to care about you more than anything, will be your greatest enemies. That blood is a bond heavier than any chain.
Master? I believe your brothers are still on your side.
It's been so long. I don't know if they are. I don't know what they think about me anymore.
I'm sure they're still your allies. You want to believe it too, don't you? You want to believe they're not enemies. Let's believe in them together, then. Anything you want to believe, you should. It's such a better way to look at the world than the other way around. You have to be positive, or one day you'll crack. Always remember to have faith so that doesn't happen.
I don't understand. She's honest about her emotions in a way I simply cannot be. She's the exact opposite of me in that regard. And yet she can still read me. I don't get it. How can she understand me like that? It's like she can read my mind. If only I could just tell her everything. Make it all another page in our mindless chatter. Get everything weighing down on me off my chest.
Is something the matter?
You're cruel.
What?
I said you're cruel. I'm sorry. Ignore me.
In preparation for the day you can finally go back home, you're going to have to stop being such a picky eater.
Where did that come from?
Think about how terrible it would be if when that day finally came, you went back sickly and weak and emaciated. You wouldn't be able to enjoy yourself. You're still all right, Master. You're doing okay. So let's try to keep you healthy.
I am gonna...
Well, we've commemorated our return to Fata Morgana with, I guess another eventful reading. As always, I'm not good at the whole yelling ordeal. There's only so much volume I can raise here. But how are we feeling about this development? I realize we haven't quite gotten into the next part of the story, but Giselle and Michelle have finally reunited, and then now they've been flung apart. I'm shocked. You really? Lots of emotions. Yes, for certain. Many emotions to be felt. I wasn't going to read into this part, this little flashback, you could say. I thought it would be better to leave off on. I hope they can find happiness, but I don't think Morgana will let them. So, we see Giselle the maid being dragged away into the darkness by Morgana. And Michelle too has disappeared into the darkness. So those two have been, for lack of a better word, vacuumed into the mansion itself now. And here, what is going to happen, this is just before it actually does happen, but I'll just tell you now that Morgana will tell us some things. And this too is quite a long tale, but in the next part of the story, we'll come to understand a little bit about what makes Morgana too. And I like Morgana. Unfortunately, I can't do... Yeah, Morgana has tea. I can't do Morgana's voice any justice. Which is my bad, and something that I am sorry for, but I will do my best when we get to it. It has truly been a year since I last read The House in Fata Morgana aloud on stream, which, you know, I feel bad for. But, as always, I'm very fond of it. Now that we're back here, all I can think is that I'm fond. Yes. Thank you for sticking around. I'm not sure who is still here listening. But but I feel nostalgic merely from hearing the music. If I can find another moment, I would really like to continue this. If anything, because I swore that I would finish this, and it's a long story, but the desire is very much there. Unfortunately, I'm not the kind of streamer who can stick around for 5 hours in one like sitting. So it's probably going to be several more goes before we can manage to finish. But we'll chip away slowly. It's nice to see you too. Thank you for coming. Thank you for chatting while I read. I apologize that I can't necessarily do a lot of commentary while I am reading this story, but I hope you understand and are happy to soak in the nice Fata Morgana vibes instead. Thank you for coming and spending time with me. I have some thoughts about... Was it very fun? Was it very fun? I'm glad if you found it very fun. But maybe I'll save it until after we get into the meat of the next part of the story, because it's interesting, and if it made your work pass by faster, then that's a good thing. The Wikipedia read was a necessity, I think. There's a lot of details that I had also forgotten about about the story since I last touched it. My bad, as always. But no. We will get there, hopefully. And if it does take another year, I'm very sorry. but I never say never. I'll say I seriously hope not, but never say never. Alrighty then. I had better head away soon. But thank you again for joining me for some story reading times. Hope you were able to enjoy your time. Appreciate the visit, as always. Wish you a wonderful day wherever you are.